teacher. She's always here to clear our doubts and gives us a clear perspective about the topic. She makes math a very interesting subject.
Yes, ma'am. She is very kind, generous, and also will repeat a topic as many times as someone asks her to until they get it. And I really appreciate that because that's been helping me a lot in my math this year.
Yasmin ma'am. Ma'am is a very fun teacher, and also we get some homework or a lot of homework from time to time. Ma'am discusses it a lot, and ma'am teaches us very well. Ma'am is also a very chill teacher. She is very kind and very sweet. She usually doesn't scold anyone, or she doesn't scold anyone for any silly questions.
The teacher I'm going to be talking today teaches a very intriguing subject. Intriguing because this subject is a subject that is not liked by many of us, and yet it is included and affects our life like no other subject does. She really goes the extra mile to explain to us the practical application of the subject and helps clear the anxiety surrounding the subject. She also takes a genuine effort to solve the simplest of doubts students have in any topics. So let's go ahead and talk to her. Hello, ma'am.
Hello Rishit, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, ma'am. How about you?
Good.
Ma'am, I haven't taken any family time. It's being a Sunday, and I thought in person it's family time, so I hope nothing like that.
Absolutely fine. It's okay.
And now speaking about family time, can you please tell us who all are there in your family?
My husband and two kids. Both of them are in Deans. My daughter Asya, she's in 12th grade, and my son Asad in grade 8 currently.
So, ma'am, when you're not being pestered by us at school, what are the things you like to do or do while relaxing in your free time?
I like to read a lot. That's my favorite pastime. If I can get a physical book, it's very good. Otherwise, I read online also. If I don't have a book in front of me, then I can read on Kindle, even on my mobile. So reading is one of the things that I like. I like watching TV also.
Ma'am, so like, what kind of books do you like to read?
A lot of classics actually. Sometimes thrillers, suspense rather than thrillers. Crime investigation.
So, ma'am, what's a typical Saturday night like for you?
Lot of time get-togethers with friends. In my apartment where I live, we have a lot of good friends. We were the first ones, the first set of people that moved into this apartment. So the initial 10 to 15 families that moved in first, we got really good friends and made a group and all that. So some parties, some get together, some at one of our friends' place. That's how we spend our Saturday evenings most of the time. So last night also I had some friends come over to my place. So that's how it is.
So, ma'am, hypothetically, if not a teacher, what other profession would you have chosen?
Actually, I like speaking, so I would have gone into some kind of public speaking, a motivational speaker or a life coach, something like that. Sounds exciting to me.
Ma'am, I thought that you might become a theoretical physicist, but okay. So, ma'am,
I could have thought of becoming an engineer, but yeah, that did not materialize. So
ma'am, so like,
yeah.
why didn't like engineering to take place? Like, why did you become a teacher instead of becoming an engineer?
See, initially I would say a little bit of lack of guidance because I came from a small town and all that. Later on, I shifted to US with my husband. Otherwise, post my graduation, I wanted to do a MCA and all that. But then I got married and I moved to the US. So that plan also did not materialize. So things just happened.
So, ma'am, you teach us maths, which is, well, by most students consider a boring subject. But I've heard from so many students that, including I also agree to this, that math comes alive when you teach it, and many students now find it interesting. So, what is it about maths that makes you passionate about the subject?
Actually, I've always found it interesting because there's a lot of reasoning and logics involved, and I guess I do have an analytical bent of mind. So I like those steps and those complications and way to figure out how to get out of it, how to follow the steps, how to apply some logic to figure out a solution to a problem. So it appeals to me. That's why I like math.
So, ma'am, for students like me who aren't that strong in math, can you give us some advice as to how we can score better?
Practice, 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 practice. That's the advice. More and more of practice. See, mathematical logic also develops with age also. You might think at a younger stage that you are not very good at math, but it can slowly improve. Okay, again, it has to be practiced, but with age also, a little bit of a better understanding comes for such kind of questions, the mathematical questions. So you can give it some time also, plus a lot of hard work also, and you'll get there.
So, ma'am, at the same time, working with so many of us monkeys in the class has its own set of hysterical and funny moments. So, can you share the funniest stuff ever pulled off by a student in your class?
Actually, a lot of them. I don't recall anything specific in class, but when we do assessments, paper corrections, a lot of funny things we see in those answer scripts and all. Like there was a time when one child, instead of Hindi paper, he had to write a third language Sanskrit, and he got a Hindi paper by mistake. He attempted it. Full paper was done. He did not realize that I have got a wrong paper. So that gave us an idea that he had never studied for it. But just because the script is same in Hindi and Sanskrit, whatever he saw and he at the moment thought of, he just wrote that, and later on he realized that it was the wrong paper altogether.
So, ma'am, how do you handle this kind of behavior?
Uh, Sometimes, like they say, carrot and stick principle.
Yes.
So sometimes with positive motivation, sometimes we laugh it off. Sometimes we give a little bit of a scolding, a warning. Yeah, so different scenarios, different methods. That's how.
So, ma'am, what are some of the things that students do that makes you want to pull out your hair?
When they talk all at the same time, 5 people talking at the same time, I cannot hear any one of them. They cannot hear anybody. It's shouting out together. That's the only time when I really feel like pulling my hair, and I think, keep quiet, guys.
Ma'am, is it more troublesome in online class or more troublesome in physical?
No, physical classes do have a lot of chaos and a lot of noise, and children distracted trying to talk here and there. I think online is a little more peaceful.
No, online is, I mean, like, that's the first to said that because everyone else thinks that online is more chaotic, but okay.
No, I find it actually peaceful. It is good. And I can see that children are looking at their screen, trying to listen to what I'm trying to explain and speak and all that. So at that particular time when I'm talking, they are actually listening. Whereas in classroom setting, even if I'm talking, they are also talking. And then trying to get the attention. Okay, listen to me, I'm trying to explain something. That takes away a lot of class time. Whereas it's not happening in online mode. So I'm finding it a little more peaceful.
So, ma'am, as a teacher, what is the most pleasant surprise a student or a group of students have gifted you?
Actually, yeah, I'm waiting for my most pleasant surprise. Hopefully it will come from you someday. But yes, every year, children, they shower us with a lot of love. Specific occasions, otherwise also on a day-to-day basis also, when they come to us, they look up to us, that itself gives us such a pleasure that we feel loved. But other than that, special occasions like Teachers' Day, children will bring flowers and bouquets and nice cards. And at the end